Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time being here, hi, I'm Livy. And if it's not, hi, welcome back. This shouldn't be a surprise to you. Today we will be ranking every special interest that I have ever had. At least I think I do. At least all that I could remember. I feel like it doesn't need that much more explaining. So I'm just gonna carry on. We're gonna start out with the floating Dorito that made me realize there was something a little different about me. I first saw this man, Demon. 9-year-old me was in love. And I want to say, especially to you, Alex Hirsch, curse you with 1,000 of mosquito bites for making Bill Cipher so easy to draw. I drew him on everything. In 6th grade, every day, on the back of my hand, I would draw him. I would draw a triangle with an eye. The one and only time I ever got sent to the principal office, the correction officer asked me what was on my hand. The man thought I was in a demonic cult, which I kind of was, if you really think about it. I want to rank Bill on a 7 out of 10 because, well, 10 out of 10 on hyperfixation, but it gets a few points taken down for all the damage it did to me, you know. John F. Kennedy. Yeah, you heard me right. John F. Kennedy, the president. At least he's still the president to me. And like a lot of hyperfixations, I don't know really what caused it. It's just kind of, I know it's a hyperfixation when I can like feel it in like the back of my head. Ooh. That's how I know that it's a true hyperfixation. And John F. Kennedy does that for me. What I really think happened is that with the stress of college, I somehow made John F. Kennedy my comfort character. Because like when I was having like a bad day in college, I would just like crawl up into bed and watch documentaries about him, or like I would read a book. So it was weird. I also made I made a few artwork pieces surrounding JFK. Black Butler, bad. Just bad. That being said, I still own all my plushies. 0 out of 10. Matt Murdock. Not Daredevil. Matt Murdock. I love that man. I love him. I watched him in Daredevil when like it was on Netflix, and I was like, I almost genuinely, I'm not kidding. I was like, what if I became a lawyer? Imagine if I, first off, would not have the skills to get into law school. But like, imagine like someone's like, oh, why did you go to law school? Oh yeah, Matt Murdock. The musical Cabaret. I love it. It's such a good musical. It's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Once again, it's one of those things where I can't communicate my feelings really to it. It's just that I love it, and it gives the tingle in the back of the neck. And I'm just like, yes. Yes, I particularly love the version with Alan Cummings. Everyone should watch it. Go look up Cabaret Slime Tutorial and watch it. 1995 or 1994. Either one of those years. Just make sure it's Alan Cummings. Or watch the original 1970s movie. That one's also really good. It's the Muppets. The Muppets. They're great. They're great. They're great. I don't know what to say. They're great. They're good. They make me feel joy. I don't often feel joy, but like the Muppets make me feel joy. I also see myself as a Muppet. Like that's another thing. It's like when I like portray myself in like drawings, it's often very Muppetly. Am I a man or am I a Muppet? It really hit home more than it should have, I think. 9 out of 10, because there are some Muppet movies that don't give me joy. Letters to Santa? No. The new Muppet movies, anytime Kermit talks, so 9 out of 10. I asked my mom what she thought about having a kid that liked Lizzie Borden, and her reply was this: it wasn't that bad. Honestly, I mean, you like Lizzie Borden, you're really interested in trying to solve the crime for some reason, even though we live nowhere near Massachusetts. But, no, I mean, it's fine. I mean, like, if you started, like, animals or something, then maybe we would have been more concerned, but, yeah, you seem like a normal kid. Boats! Boats! Oh, I love boats! I love new boats. I love old boats. All the boats are amazing. Can never get on a boat, though, because I get horribly, and I do mean horribly, motion sickness. So I will never get on a boat, but I love watching boats. Titanic is life, Mom. Oh, I'm doing too much jumping for these old memes. Creepy pasta. I wanted to be an edgy little freak so bad. They're not that bad. They're not, I mean, there's some creepypastas that are generally like horror, like they're scary. But like most of them are, like as a kid, you're like, wow, oh my gosh, this is the scariest thing I've ever read. But like, it's almost like campfire stories for the internet. And I don't think it was that bad. I think I turned out fine. I think the worst thing about it was probably like the grammar. But like, I'm dyslexic, so like honestly, I didn't notice. Even now, I think even now as an adult, if I read a creepypasta and it had horrible grammar, I think I would just keep reading. I'd be like, oh, this is pretty good. That being said, I do think the internet should have been taken away from me because I drew way too many anime GIFs. Also, if you really wanted to know, my favorite creepypasta was Laughing Jack. Legends of Tomorrow. I only put this one because at one point I had the top blog for Gary Green on Tumblr. At one point, Our Flag Means Death took over every waking moment of my life. Some would call it pirate brain rot. But I don't regret it because this show is what made me realize that I deserve love. I know that sounds silly. I don't really like to think about the person I could have been if events went different, but I am very happy that this is where my life went. I'm so glad that I watched this show and realized some things that were not good in my life. And I truly think without this show, even though it was a short-lived hyperfixation, I would not be here without it. Damn. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spider-Man, I would consider a core part of my personality. When I was like a little kid, like maybe 10, I was really into Spider-Man. And then it kind of went away. I do admit it went away. He was still there. Like anytime like there was a project that would be like, tell us about yourself, I would always draw the Spider-Man symbol. So like he was always inside me. I write scripts. I shouldn't be saying things like this. He's kind of like a comfort character that I kind of live like bi-curious through. Bi-curious. I live vicariously through Spider-Man. Anyway, you get the point. I love Spider-Man. Hamilton was what I was really, really into in high school. And I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. I was incredibly cringy. It was horrible. I was a theater kid through and through. I actually used to go to competitions for theater. That's how theater kid I was. I actually went to a competition on Valentine's Day. While people were in love, going out, going on dates, I was performing Shakespeare to be judged. I'm going to give Hamilton a 7 out of 10. So even though I still listen to the album today, it is the reason for a lot of my cringe attacks at 3 a.m. My first introduction to Constantine was through the Keanu Reeves movie, because my dad really liked it. So to impress my dad, I got really into the Constantine comics. Turns out my dad didn't know it was a comic series, and he just likes the movies. The Riddler is kind of the same as Spider-Man. If I had to be a villain, I would want to be the Riddler. No, there's just something about a man with OCD that people find annoying because he talks too much, that I find very, very intriguing. Also, the Scarecrow. I also really like the Scarecrow. But only if he's Southern. None of that British shit. He has to be Southern. I also like it when the Scarecrow and the Riddler kiss. Deadpool. He's my fictional crush. I mean, the crush isn't fictional. Deadpool, the fictional character that I have a crush on, is fictional. But the crush is real. If I ever get teleported to the Marvel Universe, I am immediately finding Wade Winston Wilson, and I am putting a ring on that finger. Is it a parasocial relationship if the other person isn't real? Katniss Everdeen's jacket. Not Katniss Everdeen, the character. No. Her jacket. Begged my mom for this jacket. And I got it. Woman's cropped leather jacket on top of a Kermit the Frog shirt and those pink plaid shorts. Still on like a 5'9", 10-year-old, but it still looked a little weird. Wonderful mention, though, since we're on jackets that I was obsessed with. I have a Star Wars jacket that this Star Wars jacket right here, I got Valentine's of 2014. And it still gets worn to this day. The zipper's broken. Still wear it. I really like jackets. They were like my comfort item in school. Even in hot weather, I would still be wearing a jacket. My favorite was the ones that had inside pockets, because that's where I would put my rocks. I wanted to be a hex girl so bad for Halloween in kindergarten that my mom got me a witch costume, and then she safety pinned red string on it. Real moment. I was so upset by that, by the way. I remember being 5 years old, and it was like a Halloween witch costume like you get at Walmart. And she just safety pinned red strings. And I was like, I don't look like a hex girl. What have you done to me, Mama? But now I appreciate it. Because, what do you do? They probably did sell hex girl costumes, thinking back. But they probably didn't sell them at our Walmart, because our Walmart never gets anything. Would also listen to the Hex Girls theme song on repeat, along with Earth, Fire, Wind, and Air, and every version of the Scooby-Doo theme song. That was what was being played over and over when I was drawing my anime Jeff the Killers. Surprise, surprise! Five Nights at Freddy's on a list of hyperfixations. I'm rolling my eyes to indicate sarcasm. I'm not into Five Nights at Freddy's as much as other people are, but I do want to include it because there was a period when, like, the first 2 games came out, I was pretty into it. Vanessa! I am 22 years old. I can't get back up. Oh no, that bad idea. I'm fine. October 5th, 2024, I wrote in my notes app, love isn't a strong enough word to describe what I feel for that clown. That clown that I was referring to was Art the Clown. Me and my friends watched Terrifier one afternoon, just randomly. And little did they know that it would be opening something inside of me. There's a part of me that loves silent films, and then there's a part of me that loves clowns. And they just kind of like all come together in art. Fact about me, I did my capstone paper about Soviet Union propaganda posters. So, I have a bit of knowledge about the Soviet Union. I also listen to a lot of Russian pop songs from like the 90s and early 2000s. Disney's Cinderella, it was the movie that was repeated in my house over and over again. It is the reason why I got a TV in my room as a kid. The TV was one of those little kid TVs from the early 2000s. Mine was themed Dora. I also really liked Dora. I want to end this beautiful video with my newest hyperfixation. Subways. When I think about subways, like specifically like looking at like subway maps, I get so emotional. It's primarily the like New York subway map. I'm not kidding. Like, I am tearing up right now. I don't know if you can see it. It's just like when I think about it, I get so emotional. I don't know where this started because, like, I live near no major cities with a subway. I've never even been on a subway. I actually probably would hate it if I ever got on one, for real. But there's something about it. I think it's because it's like so organized and color coded that it's so pretty. The thing that keeps me going in life is that the fact, and I do mean a fact, that one day I will go to New York City just to go to the Subway Museum. That's like what I work up. That's what I work towards. That's why I get up every morning and go to work. Is so one day I can go to the Subway Museum. I just love them so much. Like, I genuinely love them. And I don't know why. It's just like, it just makes me so happy. Yeah. That's all I have. I'm sure I probably have some more that I thought. Honorable mentions. There's like a spring in it. It's like, can you hear it? What if that's how I don't smile. Like, my smile doesn't go up. It just, like, it's... Like, I kind of almost had, like, the Joker smile, like, I can talk without moving my lips. Is that kind of creepy? That's kind of creepy.